We are back again, Monday Night Live, as usual. A little 30 minutes later, but we've made it here. There was a bit of confusion last night. You might have seen a little stream 9 o'clock last night. We just kind of got our dates mixed up. Yeah, we were gonna have it
Usual.
the usual, but something came up for me and the pizza seller work and all that. So but we're back tonight. And there's no little Monday Night Football, so let's be honest, it doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, we're in that dreaded international break, which is just depressing even thinking about. But look,
Yeah,
kind of been a juicy weekend.
yeah, it definitely has been. Just before we get into it, if you haven't seen, we did upload on Spotify and Apple Podcasts last week. That would be a weekly exclusive thing, so expect another video out maybe end of the week, Thursday, Friday kind of thing. But yeah, we get straight into it. Look, international breaks around already. I swear
I
the
don't know why
league
it
only
is.
started.
It did only start.
I
I
know.
just like, yeah, we won't really talk about it much because like international football bar like the Euros or something is dead.
Dirt.
Literally, yeah, it is dirt shit. I don't even care if you're an England fan or a France fan. I honestly, it's depressing. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
It is depressing, just as we're getting into a nice rhythm of things. But the less spoke about international football, the better. Where do we start this weekend? I suppose we didn't really get on the CR7 bandwagon, so do you want to have a little chat about that? We're very late to that party, I would say.
Yeah, we actually, when the rumors had first started surfacing there last week, we did do speak a bit about it on our podcast exclusive show, talking about like was he going to move or to
On
Man City,
Spotify, make sure to
United,
follow
and
our Spotify. Just gonna keep plugging
keep
that.
plugging it. But no, I didn't really see that coming through. Now, to be honest, like that's a massive pull for United again. And I don't mean to keep harrowing on about it, but Jesus Christ, it makes you depressed as a Liverpool fan. What are FSG doing? I see Edwards, I think, is going to leave at the end of his
He is
contract now
leaving, yeah.
next summer.
The GOAT, I might add.
They go, like, without him, we're in the mud. He made us look like we were doing big business in the transfer window when we weren't.
Well, like he has nothing to do. So what? He was probably just him there
He's
chilling.
been made redundant.
Yeah, he literally had nothing to do. John Henry was like, look, he was probably just drinking coffee all day or whatever, doing absolute sweet fuck all. I mean, it's the fact we don't even get linked to these big players and how big we are. You know what I mean? There's not even a bother of a link because we won't even take it serious. Even like Spurs are just after dropping another 30 million on some right back from, I've never heard of him, Emerson something, or maybe it's not, but anyways, they just dropped 30 million on some right back from Barca.
I've even seen that.
Don't even know what his name. I forget his name. Let us know in the chat there if you seen. I seen Romano just said that, but like, it's a bit of a joke. But yeah, Ronsky. I was watching.
Massive.
It is massive. Like he is my goat. To be fair, he is. I'm a massive fan of Ronsky. Emerson Royale, big upside ball. Football knowledge is absolute goat.
Spanish
so yeah,
knowledge.
Absolutely, he does have that Spanish knowledge. Yeah, Real Madrid fan there, but yeah, Ronaldo. I still don't think it will win them a title, though. Unfortunately for United, and that's actually not being biased at all. I think.
Look,
I watched. Go on,
any other team, sorry to break it in, but if any other team had this transfer window, you're guaranteed the league, I'd nearly say. On top of the squad you have already, I'd nearly guarantee the league. It's always going to come back to that PE teacher, and it always will. And for as long as he's here,
he has to win. He has to win a title or Champions League. For me, it's a failure. They've literally. Yep. I said on Twitter. I think I replied to someone. They've literally done a Galactico. Varane, Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, the next up and coming top winger, English winger for the next 10 years or whatever. That is a Galactico. That is something. That is what Madrid. But isn't it though? It is.
Yeah, you're looking at that right as well. You still got Greenwood, who's coming through. For me, he's one of the best English talents.
Sicko.
If not
sicko.
the. You got Rashford, Martial, Pogba, all these players across the squad, and and then you look at the guy in charge. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't care if you're a United fan. Yes, you're going to do well. You should be expecting to win a league.
It is
And
Man United at
even
the end
if
of
you
the day.
do, even if you do, is he really the man you want in charge for the next 3 to 5 years or whatever? Do you see a long-term future with him? Because he was come in as a short-term replacement, done okay, got to keep the job, but they need a guy like Zidane, they need a guy like Conte, they need a big guy in to manage all these
Because they
players.
have such
Because
egos, like
yeah,
Ronaldo, Varane, Champions League, Euros,
not
been
even
there,
on the
done that.
egos,
But
they
yeah, it
have
is a part of it, though. It is a part
they've
of it.
like barely any systems.
No, they don't. And even I watched Man United yesterday. I thought they were shite, and that's genuinely not being biased or anything. I really think they were really bad. That was shocking by
I
that
think
Wolves
most
keeper.
United fans would say they were.
Like, I'm being genuine. If United, like, we bigged them up against Leeds, they were sensational, but they were useless. I mean, Pogba in that CDM or the pivot or whatever, he's just not that good there. He defensively, Pogba is shite. But a top manager knows this and plays him in centre attacking mid or on the left. I mean,
I was saying this: a top manager doesn't play Pogba on the wing, and he doesn't play Greenwood on the wing, because Greenwood's
facts.
a 9 and Pogba's an 8
Or a 10.
or a 10
He's a
or a 10.
forward
But
player. Yeah, he's a forward player.
Greenwood, we've seen what Greenwood's done when he's at the 9.
Facts.
Why was he so persistent on playing right wing? Why is he so persistent on playing Dan James?
Facts. Shout out Connor there. Wolves were excellent. They were. And I know they've had 3 losses in a row, 3 1-0s, but you can kind of see what they're doing there. That manager Bruno Lage, like, I think as the manager there, he's done what he can. As in the way he set up the team, they made loads of chances. Like, Adama was class, but up until his finishing, as usual, that was the De Gea masterclass. Like, them 2 saves, that was vintage De Gea. Ooh, it was tasty. And Saibal just makes a absolute, like, that was one of the worst performances I seen from a player anywhere. Literally anywhere. Fred's performance yesterday. I don't know if you watched that game. I didn't get to see many full games at the weekend, but I sat down and watched this.
The issue with that, though, is right when you see.
No, Fred was shocking. Fred was absolutely.
I watched it, and you're saying you wouldn't win with Fred. United won't win with Fred, with Ollie in charge.
Fred's shit. I will say Fred's shit.
Yeah, but you can have shit players and still win a league.
No, facts. I agree.
If they're putting it in an effective system where they can maybe cause less harm. But when Fred's given the freedom in that 6 to and he's been expected to spray passes, and he's a decent bit of pressure on him. He's not a player who needs any pressure in this team.
He's absolute dog shit.
A systematic role player at most.
Let's not try these fancy systematic words. I mean, like, yeah, I think Ike's just summing up perfectly there. Shout out TC as well. Maguire is bang average. I've said this. He's decent. Like, he is decent. And this isn't an escape thing on United, but I just thought United were particularly bad yesterday.
I think Maguire is more than average now, to be honest, but he's not. He's obviously never going to be. He's never going to be 80 million worth.
Varane was quite impressive yesterday. Thought he was decent. He was decent. But other than that, I mean,
Sancho a bit
McSauce is
lackluster.
Back. Yeah, I see a lot of Sancho slander on Twitter. To be fair, I think Sancho will be good. Yeah, it's his first proper game. I mean, yeah, Harry is class. Yeah, no, he's had a bad start to the season. I'll say that, Slabarino, but United 1-0. They got the job done at the end of the day. Ronaldo was in the crowd. I seen that little cardboard cutout, which was fresh enough. And let's be honest, as much as I hate United, it is kind of cool that Ronaldo's back. He's not one of my favorite players now, but it's CR7 at the end of the day. He's going to bag 20 goals. He's a penalty box striker now. Class is permanent. Bruno crying. He didn't get his last penalty. Yes, I had a bet like with one of the lads yesterday saying if Ronaldo and Bruno are both on the pitch and United get a penalty next, like there's only going to be one man taking it. That's Ronaldo. Like there's no way Bruno takes another penalty if Ronski's on the pitch.
No. Like that's what I'm saying about you mentioned the Eagles and stuff. Like Ronaldo was there. Ronaldo's taking the pens. It's that simple. He's adapted his game over the last couple of years where he likes to play in around that 18 yard, and that's what he's going to do at United. Like what we've seen Cavani do, maybe obviously less effective, but
I think Cavani's brown bread now. I think Ronaldo's just a miles better version of Cavani. Like they won't work together. You know what I mean? They're both penalty box. They're both like, you know what I mean, strikers that just they're not really going to be involved that much in the build up play. They'll just be in the box, feed me and I'll score sort of thing.
But look, it's not all depressing news for United because they have had a fantastic.
They've had a Galactico.
They've had a fantastic window.
If I was a United fan, I'd be jizzing everywhere. I'd just be, that South Park meme. I'm starving at this stage as a Liverpool fan. That's how it feels. TC just brutal winner for like. And you know what's going to happen? I seen on Twitter they'll announce Henderson's new contract like deadline day tomorrow.
As if it's a brand new signing.
Like, you know what I mean? These lads are absolute geniuses. Arsenal are good for this as well. Like, you can do this literally any time of the year. They do it, transfer window or whatever. Adam, like, I think we'll get into FSG near the end of the show, but I kind of wanted to get into the 12:30 kickoff. I mean, I said to you in our podcast, was it our podcast or a stream, whatever, can they be the next Leeds? I think I'm going to keep on asking you this every weekend.
As long as I run the clip.
Yeah, I think it's time. Like
we did at home, but I still think Arsenal. I think they'll have enough to stay up. I still think they'll be strong enough to stay in the division.
I mean, yeah, that's
Can you agree with it?
That's Pete's response to me. That was last year when Keno said that, and Keno said that last year when Arsenal, I think they were like 8th or 9th around that time. Maybe I think they lost like 3 or 4 home games in a row. People thought that was a piss take. It kind of was a piss take by Keane, but at the same time, I've been hinting to you they could be in a dogfight.
Yeah. Look, I said this. I don't know if it's going to get to that stage where it gets that bad for Arsenal, but 3 from 3 now, rooted to the bottom of that. It is very, very poor. It's very poor. Like I've ran out of things to even say about it. Like it's just shit. I don't know what they have to do to get out of this. I don't know what the crack is with Aubameyang and Lacazette. It looks like none of the players want to play. Like I'm watching that team, and it doesn't seem like there's one player who actually wants to play.
But like Colm says this. Let's be honest. There's an absolute no chance for relegation. They've been absolutely terrible. The opening game, you played a championship side last year, and you got embarrassed. Like bar Norwich, I don't think there's an easier game on paper than Brentford in the Premier League. You might say Watford or something, but like you know what I'm saying. You can't say there isn't, Peter. I know we big up Ivan Toney. I know we do, but at the end of the day,
start of the year, right? Start of the year, championship teams are always flying. I don't think there's any. No, I don't think there's any difference. No, but Norwich.
Come on, they got destroyed by Brentford, and you're making a case for them. I mean, and it's how they lose the game
with
as
a very
well.
good Aston Villa squad.
I don't even think it's the way Arsenal are losing. It's not that they're losing.
Yeah, that's
they're exactly getting absolutely spanked, and it looks like they're not even trying. Honest to God, it looks like they're not even trying. And I think I say this every stream. I actually don't mind Arsenal. You know what I mean? But I think it's it's bad when like it's nearly got to the stage where it's not even funny to slag them. It is funny, let's be honest. But you know what I mean? It's kind of getting to the stage where like, oh, they've lost again. Jesus Christ. I don't know what. I'm going to keep asking you that question. Relegation dogfight Norwich after the international break. They'll be at home. That is a 6-pointer. You can say it isn't, but it is. Norwich are ahead of them and they have scored a goal. I'm just speaking facts here. Norwich City have had a harder first 3 games as well. I might add. Leicester, City, Liverpool. No, I agree with that call. Like your owners, all your whatever. I completely agree with that. But at the end of the day, just watch out. 30-1 Arsenal to be relegated. It's worth a fiver. I hope it doesn't happen, but kind of hope. I don't think it really will happen in my heart of hearts. I'm kind of taking the piss when I ask it, but you have to spank Norwich, because Norwich are a poor side. Norwich are finishing last this season. We've said they're the ultimate yo-yo club. I know my good friend Dave's a Norwich fan, but it's just they did sign Kabak today. No, Norwich. I just say that. Supposedly he's not a bad signing, to be fair.
Mm. Well, look, the kid's got Champions League football under his boot, and he's got half a season.
And he wasn't. And
Premier League.
Well, Liverpool, like, he wasn't. I don't think he was horrendous. I think that's a tidy signing. Adam, Thomas Partey injured again. I think that's enough about Arsenal. We'll play a little bit of homage to City, because I watched a bit of that game. Obviously, that minor final, you're at that. I was flicking, to be honest. You know, when it went half time, I'd watch. You know what I mean? I could kind of watch a good bit of both. City were class, and City are going out for a striker, and they've just scored 10 goals in 2 games. I mean, that's the level them boys are operating at. I thought they were sensational. Bringing on Mahrez, still have Foden to come back. De Bruyne didn't even play. For me, they're the firm favourites for the title. They were close. Yeah. Ferran Torres, very, very impressive.
Yeah, Ferran Torres, like, imagine 2 years ago when we were saying he's not.
Shut out quickly.
Come on. Yeah, not a bad shout. Do they have enough to stay up this year?
They've got the keeper. The championship expert, Aaron Ramsdale, so the relegation king. So, yeah, fair enough. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, but City are just looking... They're looking amazing. Like, you're looking at Ferran Torres. I know he was bigged up 2-3 years ago, how good he was going to be, whatever, kind of dipped off. But he's looking like a top striker there. And it's just credit to this squad. Like I was saying, if Ronaldo if he had gone there, it was crazy. Like
we said that on a Spotify podcast, didn't we?
I believe so. Yeah. Like imagine De Bruyne whipping into that. If you put any half decent number 9 up there, it's dangerous. Like they would be like if they had got Kane or whatever, they would have been my clear favorites.
They're still my favorites, definitely.
Because of not, we'll speak on Chelsea in a few minutes. They're still my favourites. Chelsea, but Man City are looking very, very dangerous.
Grealish coming into his own. Yeah, Torres, just to finish up, he had a good end to the season. Remember, he scored like 4 against City. That tasty goal. He's just scoring screw. He's a very tidy player, and he's efficient. And I've always said it. I think Jesus gets a lot of unfair slander. He's kind of playing up more on the right now. I think Jesus is very tidy, very... I don't know, let us know in the chat if he's right, Jesus. I think he kind of divides opinion. I've always thought he was decent. I'm liking how he's playing. I think he's very tricky.
I think because, he was kind of seen as maybe an Aguero replacement when he's never going to be that level, right?
Yeah, he's a completely different player as well.
He's been good. He's been good. I don't think I've ever really seen him do too much wrong with the ball. I think maybe some of his runs are a bit questionable at times, but when he's on the ball, he is very tidy and he's good control, and
he's very industrious or something. Yeah, you know what I mean. He's like he's always looking to make something happen. He's tricky. I mean, how was Chambers and Holding getting out jumped by Gundogan? I just don't get it at all. But enough on that game. We could be speaking on that relegation topic regularly this year. We'll see, but we'll go.
Big up Cybal there in the chat. He's crying out to Perez to get signed. I see you commenting the whole time. Real Madrid man. Perez is too busy washing his cash.
I seen 200 million bid, and I think the Sky Sports headline was it was ignored. It was literally ignored. It was like PSG ignore Real bid, and they were like, they'll go in from next year. I mean,
we mentioned this on the pod, saying
go follow Spotify.
There is no other team in the world, I think, right now, even Man City with all their money. There's no one as comfortable as PSG in regards to money that could say this lad has 1 year left. We can sell him for nothing. Like he can walk next year, but we're still denying nearly 200 million bids.
It's nearly just a flex.
That financial power.
I honestly think it's just a flex.
Crazy.
They just don't care. I think it's gas that I probably the way they've ignored it, and there's 1 day left in the transfer window. I don't know if Spain let us know, Cybal. Like, you know how Spain, or did they get it? Is it there? Is it all ended August, like the whole leagues? You know how it's always different.
Yeah.
Like, say La Liga might be this week. Obviously, England's tomorrow. But you know what I mean? The transfer windows, ever. I don't know, but I don't think he's going to go at this stage. He bagged 2 at the weekend. As we were saying, it makes no sense why you wouldn't stay for another year. But this comment by TC just kind of leads us on to the Liverpool-Chelsea game. Lovely, I would say. I didn't get to watch this myself. Had my own game, unfortunately. Watched the extended highlights or whatever. You watched it. You kind of give us what you thought of it and all that.
Yeah, mention, was Arteta backed or was All or Nothing backed? On that one, they were definitely look at me. I'm buying people transfers, but
facts.
Yeah, it all boils down to FSG again. Like we were the better of the sides. First half was a bit cagey either side. You know, Lukaku. To be fair, Van Dijk and Matip done a very, very good job on him. They were looking
class act.
They were looking dangerous, but then once the penalty came and he got sent off, the game did die, and it was.
What you make of that decision? I seen it, and I still don't know what to make of it. I mean, what I'll say is, right, can I just say, I actually don't know the rules. Remember, the rules used to be, even if it's not deliberate, but you stop a clear goal, which it was stopping a clear goal, and it wasn't deliberate. Is it a red? You know how they're always changing the rules these days.
I think the main issue, right? I'm not 100% with the rule books.
Let us know in the chat if you know that. You know that rule and stuff.
My issue was when the ball actually strikes his hand, it looks like he tries to swing at it.
Yeah,
and
he's giving it one of them.
Like, it could be a reflex or whatever, but if you're swinging into the ball like that, it looks like you're making a clear attempt to save the ball. Yes, it could be seen as harsh or whatever. The ball's coming in quick at you. It happens.
He stopped the clear goal.
Yeah, like it was a goal, and he touched it with his hand.
Yeah.
What else can you say?
Maybe the ref was hard. Adam's saying here, Chelsea should have been 2-0 up if Havertz made Lukaku a better. Yeah, I seen that chance that Mount had.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have just squared it. I think it was a shot. I know it was kind of a shot come across. It wasn't either. Kind of.
He didn't know.
That was probably the biggest chance of the game from what I see. I watched the extended highlight and nothing else came up. I presume they would have showed.
It comes down to this issue we've had now for the last season. I've pointed out a couple of times. When we come up against a team who are sitting in and they're inviting pressure on, we can't break them down.
Nah, we need the spark, and we don't have
nothing. We've nothing to come on, off the bench really that can do it. And you're saying, yeah, look, you've got Jota or whatever. Jota'd come on before half time.
He's not really creative, though, is he? He's not that guy. He's not that player. He's not. He's a gunman, but he's not going to pick it up deep and create something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, but even not about picking it up deep, because they let us pick it up deep and they gave us all the space up until 25 yards. But the issue is breaking down the next 25. We've seen it with Burnley last year when we came up against a low block. All we did was hit and hope merchants, and we just kept whipping ball in.
And then boys are munching up.
Yeah, just hoping something will get it on the end. Harvey Elliott, it wasn't his best game.
I think I didn't see it. Obviously, I think
very, very techy when he's on the ball.
Harvey Elliott's 18. I think if we're hanging our hat on Harvey Elliott to be our creative spark, we're not getting near a title. And that's nothing to do with Elliott. He's going to be a baller. He is a baller already. But I mean, it's just shows kind of what we're lacking. And Tommy's been chatting about the FSG. I want to have a bit of chat about them now. FSG was trending on Friday and Saturday on Twitter.
Just before that, though, for the Harvey Elliott, you look at them 18-year-olds, look at the likes of Foden and stuff like that.
I was about to say,
when they were young.
Just being easy, playing 4 or 5 games a season, the Carling Cup games.
Like maybe 10 or 12 games a season max if you're very, very good. Why should he be starting there when you've got the likes of Thiago and stuff on the bench? But even at that, we need more. 18-year-old got the full night. Yeah, he shouldn't, though. I don't care if he's playing good. He shouldn't. That's our issue. That's what FSG.
It's nothing to do with Elliott. Elliott's an absolute baller.
We did not.
Elliott should be. Elliot should be coming on maybe 15 minutes to go. You know what I mean? Maybe. I mean, TC is just spitting facts here. Minamino. I mean, we've acted like a prime Stoke or something. Actually, Stoke have outspent us. So you think this is a joke? They've had a bigger net spend than us. I think like the last 5 years or something. I've said this like for months and months and months. Klopp is masking these owners, and I've said we could be the next Arsenal. We could. I'm telling you, when Klopp goes, it will go to shit because. He's providing miracles on a shoestring budget. If Klopp was back like Solskjaer was back, I've no doubt he'd have 2 or 3 Prems and another Champions League. He's that good of a manager. Think of it this way, right? If we were acting like Liverpool, where did Liverpool rank in England? Probably first or second biggest team in England. It's us or United. In Europe, we're top 5 clubs, club-wise, size-wise, and all that, I would say.
We're up there anyway.
Man, yeah, we can argue we're top 5. We're one of the biggest in the world. You know what I'm saying? We a normal transfer window for us if we had proper owners, and this wouldn't be even like, oh my god, this is amazing. This should be standard for Liverpool. Let's just say, for example, this year, I'm just saying names: Chiesa from Juventus, Basuma, and let's say one more. Don't know who to say. Maybe a backup. Camavinga. That shouldn't even be like, oh, that should be like, oh yeah, that's a tasty window. You know what I mean? That's good. You know what I mean? It's like we'd be happy with that. But because our owners are so bad, if let's just say we dropped the Basuma deadline day tomorrow, we dropped the Basuma, even though we knew he was 40 million all season. Oh, we'll drop it deadline day so the fans get hyped and they're kind of FSG out is not trending. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still a shit. It's still a shit window, even which we won't even get someone like Basuma tomorrow, which would be a quality sign. It would still be a shit window. That's the problem.
That's a good window if you're Everton, maybe, or something like that. You know what I mean? You're trying to push for top 4 and stuff like that. We're not trying to push for top 4. We want the league. Right? Talk about Oxlade-Chamberlain coming off the bench.
Fuck me,
Minamino. Guys like
Tommy said Minamino, yeah.
That's outrageous for a world-class manager in, supposedly one of the best teams in the world to look at his bench and see a washed up Oxlade-Chamberlain.
By the way,
Minamino, guys, it should be near the team.
I mean, it kind of goes to show. I don't know. I genuinely think. I said we have an outside chance to win the title this year, but if we don't win the title this year, we won't win it for a good few years. I'm quite sure of that because just the way. And then I see fans on Twitter like saying, "Oh, trust it." It's not trusting Klopp. I've all the faith in Klopp, but there's only so much the man can do. But he's up against City, 100 million Jack Grealish, Chelsea, 100 million Lukaku, Ronaldo. Like there's only so much he can fend off and be like and make, you know what I mean, make wine out of make wine out of water or whatever. That's kind of
how can you put in the same output, actually maybe less, or sorry, put in the same input, maybe less input than we did last year and stuff like that, and expect a different outcome? You're not going to get that. We've seen what happens when we run our team into the ground. Andy Robertson,
which we will again.
Yes, Robbo, fantastic, whatever. Bringing him back early from injury. Again, we're starting to see it happen. He wasn't supposed to be back for another week and a half, 2 weeks. And it's not like Tsimikas has been playing terribly. He was man of the match the game before. It's little stuff like that, forcing players back because our squad depth isn't good enough.
Yeah, I think TC's comment sums it up. The Minamino thing. I think our owners. Like, look, Stan Kroenke and Arsenal's owners or whatever, they're on terribly. They don't give a fuck about them. At least they're dropping 130 million. Like, if Michael Edwards had 130 million to work with, by God, you know what I mean? It's just because it's the people that, Arsenal, your man Edu, I think it is, he used to be an Invincible, and don't know who the other fella is. You know what I mean? They've had 130 million to work, and they spunked it on like Ben White and shit. If Michael Edwards had 130 million to work with, let's just say hindsight, Basuma 40 million, yeah. As I said, Chiesa. I don't know why I'm saying Chiesa, just because I saw the odd link with him. He'd be what 60 odd million, 65. But he'd be an absolute. He'd be a top.
45.
Yeah, exactly. 45 with add-ons or some shit like that. Like he would, you know what I mean? 2 top quality signs, then he'd probably get in. You know what I mean? If he had that money to work out, I could see him dropping a big deal for like Jude Bellingham, where it's add-ons or shit, or pre-agreed, you come next season. You know what I mean? That's the sort of shit Michael Edwards can do. He did it with Thiago, something like stupid amount of money.
Even remember that Naby Keita one.
Exactly. Man's a genius, and he's gone this year. I know he was going to go anyway. It was kind of agreed he was going to go, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if he just got fed up. He's like, I literally can't do anything if you're not release me the funds.
Adam's still on the positive side here. FSG just eating the toes off the guys at PSG in order to sign Mbappe tomorrow for 51 plus Origi.
Saibal won't like that. But no, I think, look, that's my FSG rant. I don't think we will sign anyone tomorrow, but if we do, I still don't care because it'll be one signing, some random signing just to please the fans or something. Even if it was a Basuma who I really like, I kind of be saying, well, well, look, as I said, if Mbappe or Haaland signs, John Henry's going into that wall. But no, in all seriousness, will we sign anyone tomorrow? I mean, as I said, I said to you, if we don't get an attacker and a midfielder, we won't win the title. We're probably not going to get either. So for me, that's the title written off.
Yeah. Look, we might sign the dud tomorrow. I can't see anything happening at all. But you're okay.
No thanks. That's one man I don't want to see come in the door. Fred the Red, or this man, Xhaka. Yeah, captain, leader, legend, Granit Xhaka. But I think I seen a little thing by Saibal there. Madrid, they're gonna try get something done. I'm just gonna have a cheeky look at Romano's Twitter, just to see
the Bible.
The Bible, yeah, pretty much. I mean, this man just doesn't miss. Supposedly, he mustn't sleep either, to be honest.
But what's annoyed me most, just when we finish up on FSG, look at players even we get linked to, and just
Jared Bowen, for example.
No. But when we've been linked to even good players, I don't know whether the arse of it falls through or we're not willing to pay the money, stuff like that. Like, remember even Patson Daka this year. We've been linked to him for about a year now. Okay. A load of talk of it coming into the summer. No talk for a few weeks, and bang, he signs with Leicester.
Vintage Leicester making a good sign. I mean, here's another one for our rivals. Just sell quality signing, quality signing. I'm just not on Mbappe by Romano there, but I see Edward's going to Palace, which is a tasty signing. Edward from Celtic. I'm thinking, ooh, that's not bad. Like, it's better business than us. Let's be honest. Conor Gallagher, Edward, they got someone else decent in. I mean, yeah, decent, but
Palace.
Crystal Palace, Paddy Vieira. They need to give him everything to stay up because I still think they're going down.
It's a dodgy thing.
But all right, I'm just kind of getting stressed talking about Liverpool and FSG, so I'm kind of done talking about them. I think Dave, just shout out Dave. He brought up a good comment. Probably the most important comment of the night. Yeah, Snog Campbell does have lovely hair. I just want to get that out there. He's getting relegated, but he's got lovely hair, so
he'll go down in style.
Yeah, he will go down in style, as he always does. Let's Ivan Toney off the mark. Just want to lift my mood a bit. Tidy finish.
The Don.
Look,
he's doing what he needs to be done. I think you
on the match first game
goals this
year. I did say that's 14 to go.
I was giving him around the 10 mark. I think I'll just take him. You know, like he's come up from Peterborough. Fantastic season. We all seen what he done Championship last year. I just think another step up from is just going to be slightly too much. And I know he's a great player and he seems to have a great work ethic. And
he's got good mentality though as well. I kind of like he's a bit cocky, not cocky, and I mean that in a good way. He's confident. I should say, very confident, which is what you need. You got to back yourself at the end of the day.
I just think it's going to take him. I think he's going to have a good year. It's not going to be phenomenal, but he's going to get the job done.
I'm saying still 15, but even he's got more to his game than goals, which I've even realised the man of the match against Arsenal. hold up play. He's dog in the air. So I'm liking Tony. What other game kind of caught my eye, and I was like, that looked decent.
West Ham Palace wasn't a bad game.
Antonio's just at it again. He's just at it again.
Big done.
Yeah, I mean, he just. I see Mike Rich is now saying he could go to a top 6 club. I think he's just at his level. He's at his level, West Ham, and that's not disrespect. He's
well, look, Arsenal being counted in that.
I'm saying Arsenal could really,
I know,
really go for him. Shout out Real Ball Talk, my guys. Apparently, Camavinga is off to Real Madrid. Ooh, that's
I have 3 letters for you there about why we didn't go for Renato Sanchez, and that's FSG.
Yes, that's why. But make sure to sub to Real Ball Talk channel or video come with them probably soon enough. We always link with them. I presume that's John. I mean that's a quality channel, but he's just unfortunately they're Arsenal fan. But I think John's on loan to United now. I seen him repping a little United jersey, so he's kind of Pogba FC and Ronaldo FC. So yeah, give them a cheeky sub, lads. But yeah, look, we'll answer this question. Top 5 midfielders of last season. I presume that's Premier League. We'll say Premier League. I'll let you go first.
Premier League last season.
Cheeky question by Cybal there, but look, that's what the live's all about.
Is Jackie Grealish counting as a midfielder?
Yeah.
Right, so I'll give Jack Grealish.
Yeah, he's on my 5.
Mason Mount.
Yeah, he's on my 5.
Naby
Keita. He's not in my 5.
De Bruyne is not in your 5.
No.
I'd give KDB. Bruno, obviously.
Yeah, fair enough. Damien Duff.
And last one.
I'd have Wilfred Ndidi in there from last year.
Ndidi had a good season. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, there's probably someone glaringly that we're missing. Yeah. I'd say Bissouma's not far off, to be honest. Gundogan, Bissouma.
Not for me. Oh yeah, Gundogan. Sorry, missed out.
As we were saying, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Compost, you don't miss.
But that's something I've been saying now for about 2-3 years now. Even to mates and stuff, that we had an option there at a time with Salah and stuff,
where everyone wanted.
Before they signed a new contract.
I don't know.
Before they signed a new contract, where you have 2 options right now, and it's sign these guys on the contract, win a few more trophies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and you're going to have to fork back and reinvest in the next 3 to 4 years, or you can sell now and get the up and coming talent, and you know what I mean. Try and get a mix of both or whatever. We decided to stick it out, but now they have to. We didn't win as many trophies as we should have won. Let's be real.
Because Klopp wasn't back.
When we were firing, because of the lack of squad depth, because of the lack of backing, we didn't win everything we should have. We did have one of the best squads, or not one of the best teams, I would say Premier League era has seen in regards to 11 on the pitch. Squad wasn't great, and we didn't get as much money and everything and trophies as we needed. And now we're going to be in a very, very tough situation where we're going to need our owners put the hand in the pocket, but they're not going to.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're going to get left behind.
I couldn't agree more, lad. I don't really agree with you on that many things, but yeah, Fadzil, I'm not disagreeing with you, and I promise this the last. I promised
we didn't at home, but I still think Arsenal. I think they'll have enough to stay up. I still think they'll be strong enough to stay in the division.
I don't think Keno misses with his comments. I know Keno talks a lot of shite, but he is very funny. He is very blunt. Look, that's what will be my response. Well, that's your response. I said they're in a dogfight, but another game I want to go on to, because he's kind of going under the radar. Look, it's only 3 games, but Rafa, cheeky. I watched because I had my game on before that, so it was the 3 o'clock game on TV was Everton and Brighton, and yeah, I mean, Rafa just doing his thing. Vintage Rafa just grinding out points. I mean, he's going to do a good job at Everton. He's going to do a solid job. You know what I mean?
Look, I've said this a couple of times about Everton. It's an okay squad. It is a tidy squad. When they're on it, it's good, but there is
A lot of average in it.
Yeah, there is some places that really need replacing. You look at Andros Townsend and
Murray Grace had a cheeky start, but I still don't really rate him. I know he's got 2 cracking goals, but it's early days. I suppose, look, he was 1.5 million or whatever, so it was a bargain.
Look, anything ahead of Iwobi for me.
Oh, Iwobi's horrendous. I mean, yeah, I was actually chatting about Iwobi on Saturday. We're like, who's better, Damari Gray or Iwobi? And we're like, it's Gray. I mean, Alex Iwobi. Yeah, honestly, everyone in this stream is better than Alex Iwobi. I think he's dirt, and he was 40 million, by the way. But no, but I thought, 40, 35 plus add-ons. I think John, any Arsenal fan, no, it was very high. I thought it was great bit of business by the Gooners way back then, or whenever that was. But I was watching a bit of everything. I just thought they looked solid as usual. One player, I don't know if you've seen the Richarlison PSG links.
Yeah,
strong.
What you make of him in the 10? Well, not really a 10.
No, what I was going to ask you was trying to take DCL's penalty. Vintage Richarlison being an absolute prick. I don't know if you've seen that, but like DCL's the designated penalty taker or whatever. And he kind of just went to take the penalty. Richarlison just took the ball and just wouldn't give it back. I think Shamey Coleman just literally had to take it off them. And that was that. DCL slotted in, thank God, because he's on my fancy. But I don't know. I think I don't know what happened to Peter there. Was that me? Maybe it was the maybe he's back in a second. But I was saying Everton are looking tasty enough this year. If they lose Richarlison to PSG, I've seen a few links, guys. I don't know if that'll actually happen. It'll kind of be
they were offered. Just wanted none of it, lads.
He just heard the laptop. Just heard Richarlison. He's like, "Fuck that Brazilian prick." But no, I was saying Richarlison trying to rob DCL's penalty. I don't know if you've seen that. Vintage Richarlison, and he didn't celebrate when he scored. He was just like this.
Having it in a little
vintage Richarlison. He's kind of like a worse version of Tevez. You know what I mean? Hateful,
trying to get that shit American.
But he is a good player. He isn't a bad player.
Richarlison, I've said it before. Like technically, he's very, very good. He makes very good runs as well.
Just not consistent enough. I don't. He's
think very arrogant, player. You know, he's very arrogant. I think PSG, if they hadn't got all this time,
it's a vintage PSG signing. Pie in a prick. He's like a Cardi or something, you know what I mean? They're a good player, but they'll just always cause trouble.
I think if he could go out there and say, he was guaranteed a starting spot and they didn't get Messi or whatever, like on an average season, he could easily bag it, like a top scorer in that league and something like that. I think that's something he'd do, like go to Italy, like that slower game, and he'd break the lines with the pace.
No, I actually agree. I think he'd be a quality Juventus signing. I think he'd be a beautiful replacement for Ronaldo. I think he would suit that. You're actually right there, but I see they signed Moise Kean, and I was like, what he's doing, Juve?
No, I think Moise Kean is a good sign, and I think he'll suit Italian football very well. I didn't think he was bad last year, actually, at Paris. So it's not. You look at what AC are relying on Giroud, and Giroud's looked awful when he's played for AC so far. Awful.
Yeah, look, I think Richarlison. I couldn't see him. If he was going to Italy, I could only see him going to Inter or Juventus for some reason. I don't even mean that as a dig at AC. It's actually not. It's just
AC haven't paid that type of money anyway.
Yeah, so. I don't think they've got them owners then. But before we finish up, anything else you kind of want to touch on just before we transfer deadline day tomorrow? I mean, I'll be on my phone or whatever at work looking at it, but I won't be expecting anything from Liverpool. I mean, and if it does come something from Liverpool, it'll just be like, it'll be kind of like a appease the fans signing something. Oh yeah, here, have that. It's like you're starving. Oh yeah, have a few crumbs there. That's literally what. Or they'll announce Henderson, as I said. Don't be surprised if they announce Henderson on tomorrow or Wednesday.
They wait until we are absolutely starving. So when they give us them crumbs, they think we'll appreciate it more. Yeah,
it's like a gone off McDonald's or something or whatever, or a cold McDonald's. It's not really that nice, but when you're starving, it's like, yeah, that was actually
the best thing ever.
Exactly. But unfortunately, it is international break now, but the content will still be coming out. I would say maybe Friday or over the weekend we'll be getting a guest or two on. Stay tuned on our socials.
There should be a pod coming out.
There will be a pod. No, there's no if, buts, or
sorry.
There will be a pod.
Anything happens tomorrow in the transfer.
Well, probably actually Wednesday. We'll record a podcast Wednesday of deadline day and kind of like the whole transfer window summed up, and we'll kind of chat about the first 3 games of the Premier League on a whole, who's kind of stood out, blah blah blah, what's kind of caught our eye. That'll be the pod. So Spotify's, I know I use Spotify.
Podcast,
maybe you use Apple Podcast. Whatever you use your Spotify on, give us a cheeky follow. Just a Near Post podcast, I suppose, isn't it? On the Spotify or whatever.
The links are in our link tree, which is in the description of this video.
So click on, if you're new, subscribe to the boys. We just passed 400 recently. Yeah, that was a quality stream, people. FSG out, and one more time for good luck.
We did at home, but something else. I think still have enough to stay.